Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is my reaction to the Chelsea versus Liverpool game. Just going to start off by saying I'm absolutely fuming, like really fuming. So in my preview I predicted 1-1 draw and it ended up being a 2-1 win to Chelsea at the last minute. So like I do in all of my reactions, I'm going to go through the first half, second half and give you my thoughts at the end. So I feel like we should just get straight into it because it's going to be a long one. So in the first 10 minutes we were doing actually okay, and then in the 16th minute Caicedo scored the first goal for Chelsea. For this goal, it was a brilliant goal, but I do not know what Van Dijk is doing. He's not going towards Caicedo to stop him. He was moving in the opposite direction, sideways, and I thought, oh my god. And it was just horrific. Not gonna lie, Van Dijk had a stinker on that. I do not know what he was doing at all. And then this is when it started going downhill. Well, sort of. Kirkes crossed the ball into the box and no one got on the end of it when he should have scored himself. I know it was a difficult angle, but he should have just shot. Instead, he tried to pass it. I understand why, but he should have just shot, to be honest. And then we had a couple more chances. Salah outside the boot cross into Isak, and Isak headed it over the bar. Not gonna lie, he should have done a little bit better with that chance, to be honest. But I've noticed with this, I'm not making excuses at all, but I've noticed with this Premier League ball, whenever anyone tries to header it or absolutely whack it, it just goes over the bar. Remember the Qatar World Cup with that ball, and everyone, as soon as they just hit the ball, it would just go straight into row Z. So yeah, I'd say that Isak should have probably scored that chance. I'm not making excuses about the ball, obviously, because everyone has to play with it, but he should have scored that chance. Not gonna lie, I have not really a lot to say in the first half. First 10 minutes we were good, and like I said in my other video, I think it was, I find it quite hard to analyse the other team when Liverpool are playing because I'm just watching Liverpool, but it was quite an end-to-end game altogether, to be honest. I would say they deserved the goal. Also, I forgot to say, Bradley got a yellow card, and as soon as he got the yellow card, because he was up against Garnacho, I think it was, and Garnacho just kept falling all over the place, probably trying to get him sent off. And I've literally got it down on my notes. I literally put in brackets, Bradley on yellow card, expect to sub Frimpong. And now we're going to the second half. Bradley gets taken off for Florian Wirtz. Like I said, I thought Bradley was going to get taken off for Frimpong. It's like Slot does not trust Frimpong at all. And it says a lot when you don't even bring Frimpong on and you take Bradley off and then you put Szoboszlai at right back. I know he's had a couple of games at right back, but he can do it, but he's not an out-and-out right back. He's a midfielder. You can just tell that he doesn't trust Frimpong, if that makes sense. I think it's because he's not very good defensively, Frimpong. I don't know what it is about Frimpong, but if you're putting Szoboszlai at right back, that says a lot. And then there was a chance where Gakpo passed to Wirtz, and Wirtz done like a little flick, and then Salah hit it over the bar. What I will say is with Salah, he was so selfish this game. Every time I got the ball, he wouldn't pass to anyone and he would just shoot. And it got to the point, I was looking on the pitch and I was thinking, they all look really annoyed. They all look really annoyed. Every time Salah got the ball, it's like he wants to get a goal, but the chances he was missing in his game, and he was shooting just from anywhere. He was absolutely awful this game, Salah. I know he wants to get the goal, but he could have passed a lot of them chances because he was in good positions to, and if he did, maybe this would have ended in at least a draw. So I would say that Salah was horrendous this game. And then Konate got taken off for Jones, and then Kirkes got taken off for Robertson, And I was thinking, obviously Robertson's going right back, who's going to play in defence? But then he put Gravenberch in defence, and I was like, and what did I say in my preview, guys? I literally said I wouldn't play Konate in this game, I would play Joe Gomez. So all of these things that Slot's doing recently, you've got a fully fit Joe Gomez on the bench. When you take Konate off, you don't use him. You put your defensive midfielder in defence instead. I didn't understand that at all either. Like I said in my preview, I would have started Joe Gomez in this game because once again, Konate was absolutely abysmal. Again, every time he gets the ball, I'm like, oh, he stresses me out, and it's like he doesn't know what to do with it, and he's just, his head is in Real Madrid. I know I said this in my other video, his head is definitely in Real Madrid, but it doesn't excuse Slot's substitutions. Like I said, why would you take Connor Bradley off and then not put Frimpong on, and then put Szoboszlai right back, and then when you take off Konate, you don't bring Gomez on, who is actually a defender, and then you put Gravenberch in the defence. It just doesn't make sense. Curtis Jones come on, he was quite good actually. He can actually pass the ball. And then this is the other thing I need to talk about. Gakpo, other than scoring the goal, he was bad. Like really, really bad. Like none of us couldn't pass the ball. I don't know what's happening. Like none of us could pass the ball. Other than the goal, Gakpo was not great. It got to the point where I was just like, bring Chiesa on. He's on the bench. If he's not fit enough, why is he on the bench? And not gonna lie, I had to look up if Ekitike come on. I know Isak got taken off, but I didn't even know Ekitike was on the pitch. But Chiesa, it's like, he deserves a start. I think I said that in my preview as well. He deserved the start, but we didn't know if he was injured or not, and I didn't know if Ekitike was going to be injured, like I said in my preview as well. But obviously it wasn't that bad because Ekitike come on, but I can't even believe that Chiesa didn't even get on the pitch, bearing in mind what he's done in the last 10-15 minutes of games for us. I just didn't understand that at all. And then going on to our goal to make it 1-1, it was Gakpo, Szoboszlai crossed it into the box, Isak flicked it behind him for a tap-in for Gakpo. So Isak has got an assist now. Like I said, Gakpo wasn't great this game except from that goal. And at this point I was going, oh my god, I'll just be happy with a draw here. It was actually a really good game, to be honest. All game it was like end to end. But in the last like 15 minutes of the game, it was like really, really end to end, if that makes sense. Like proper. And then it got to like the last 15-10 minutes, and Mamardashvili made some brilliant saves. Robert Sanchez didn't really have a lot to do. It was like we were getting up their end of the pitch to try and score, but it was either Salah that would get it and not pass it to anyone and then just shoot over the bar. Everyone would just misplace passes, or their defenders would just like block it. And what I didn't realise either, by the way, I forgot to say, they were on to like their fourth choice defenders, and in the end they were playing left backs and right backs in defence, and that's how bad we were, that not even defenders, and not even their defenders that play every week, weren't even on the pitch, and we still couldn't win. Especially on the form that Chelsea have been on recently, I can't believe it. Because Chelsea have got so many players, I don't know who's playing who's who. They've got so many, if you know what I mean. So like I said, Mamardashvili was making a couple of really good saves. He was the least of our problems, Mamardashvili, today. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jesus. If anything, he should be given the man of the match the way we played. And then, I'm still fuming about this, by the way. Extra time, 90+5, and Esteval scores his first ever Premier League goal to make it 2-1 to Chelsea. I couldn't believe it. I was like, our late minute winners are bitten us on the arse 3 times now, and I'm like, oh my god. The thing is, it got to the point when you sort of knew, if that makes sense. Like, do you know, like when we were scoring late minute winners, you always used to know, like even if it was 1-1 or something like that, you would go, oh no, we'll be alright, no, we'll be alright. It's got to that point now where it's the opposite, and we're like, oh no, 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 no. Mum and Dad really couldn't do anything about it. It was a tap in really for Esteval. Not gonna lie, I can't really remember the goal that much because I was actually absolutely fuming. As soon as they scored the goal, I turned it off and then started doing the washing up. So I didn't even re-watch it, by the way. I didn't even like re-watch the goal. So I'm sorry, I know I'm doing a reaction, maybe I should have, but I just couldn't deal with it. I was thinking, oh God. What I will say is as well, we don't create enough chances for Isak. And I was thinking the other day, and I forgot to say it in my preview, I was thinking, if we create the chances that we made for Nunes and we gave them to Isak, then I think he gets more goals, obviously, because we created more chances. Most of the chances that Nunes missed, Isak would have scored, and then all of a sudden we are not creating the chances anymore for him. I know he had that one header and he probably should have done better with it, but except from that and the assist, there was nothing else really, and it's been like that since he's started, if you know what I mean. Like, I just don't understand. He's probably not fully fit either. I know I said that, and people will be like, that's an excuse. I feel like he needs to start more games, Isak, but because of his injuries, we probably don't want to risk him, but we should have done so much better in this game. The midfield is a proper issue as well. The gap between midfield and defence and midfield and attack is horrendous. I'm not going to lie, it was probably coming. Now Arsenal are 1 point ahead of us because they won against West Ham earlier today. So that's what I said about the game. This is a well-deserved win for Chelsea. Liverpool were abysmal and now we've lost 3 in a row. Hopefully it gets better. I really, really hope it does. So please let me know in the comments your thought on this game, and please can we get up to 350 subscribers? We're only about 4 away, so remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.